not only was he a drug dealer, but he was also an alcoholic, like his father before him. When the FBI finally caught up with my dad, he was charged for selling counterfeit plane tickets. He was given a choice by the judge to either face federal prison or join the military. And the choice was quite simple. He was going to be a Navy man, and after serving in the Navy in the Bay of Pigs, he still wound up in jail. So during his tenure in college, also known as prison, he noticed that there was a disconnect between when an inmate was released back into society and how he was supposed to re-enter society. So what he would do is help the newly released inmates find work and shelter, and this was his way of giving back to the community. When my parents married, they moved down here to Lakeland, Florida, and I arrived soon after. And when my father began helping in the prison ministry down here, he continued to help the newly released inmates find work and shelter. When he couldn't find any work or shelter for them, where do you think he brought them? Home with us. And this is actually where I learned my compassion towards others. And as my parents never turned away a soul, I slowly began to follow suit. I brought home all sorts of lost and wounded animals, and our house slowly became a zoo. And with both my parents smoking cigarettes indoors, my health actually paid the price. Between the animals and the cigarette smoke, I was sick at least 6 times a year with various sinus infections, allergies, and asthma. By age 12, I had a tonsillectomy, which doctors don't even do anymore, because it turns out inflamed tonsils are your check engine light. If you get sick, that's the first thing that gets inflamed, so you really don't want to take that away. So, antibiotics and Robitussin were commonly administered remedies which helped me with my symptoms but never really addressed the problem. My father gave up drinking, but he still smoked pot daily. And in fact, most of my father's son time was actually spent walking our dogs while he smoked weed out of his corncob pipe and visited with various characters of our neighborhood. So I essentially grew up in a pro-drug environment, learning to take drugs when I was sick and to take drugs for recreation. By the time I graduated high school, I was completely following in my father's footsteps. My life had turned into this weird blend of That 70s Show and Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. And I played drums in a garage band. I owned a Russian SKS assault rifle, and I was selling pot to all my friends as well as my own father. And due to this fact, all my extracurricular activities actually got in the way of my scholarship chances, I enrolled in massage therapy school. See, I love history, and I was going to use massage therapy to pay my way through college so that I could be a history professor. However, living a life of sex, drugs, and rock and roll has its price. So here's a game changer. A few days before my 21st birthday, I get arrested for possession of marijuana. I have to call my mom down to the jail to bail me out. Now, obviously, I go on to attend and graduate massage therapy school, but acquiring my license was also very interesting. I did attend the Physicians Recovery Network, which forced me to sober up, and actually solidified the process of converting me from a drug dealer to a natural healer. What I learned in Florida College of Natural Health was also a game changer. The human body is incredibly amazing and incredibly complex and equally as amazing. Your body is actually capable of maintaining health all on its own as long as you give it the right ingredients. Clean oxygen, clean water, proper nutrition, routine exercise, and adequate rest. This is completely contradictory to the way that I was raised. What really blew my mind is once I moved away from home and all the pollutants in my environment, my symptoms disappeared. No more asthma, no more allergies, no more need for constant antibiotics and Robitussin. And this experience taught me to always address the source of the problem and has guided me to treating my patients. We're going to do a real quick demonstration of Mo. Go ahead and come up here. Now, Mo's a pretty strong, buff, handsome guy, right?
So he says.
Go ahead and stand right in the middle. Go ahead and give us a bicep curl there. All right, so he's pretty strong. He should be able to hold that. The way muscles work is they have to produce an even amount of tension on a joint, and they have to turn on and off when you want them to. So what we're going to do is simulate a knot in his triceps. And a knot is nothing more than what I'm going to tricep one. A knot is nothing more than where the muscle is actually stuck in the on position. So we're going to turn his triceps on and then see if he can still curl that.
Is this like a taser?
Yeah.
22,000 volts. Oh crap, wrong battery.
Sideways. Diagonal. Alright, tell me when you can start to feel that. Alright.
Ooh, just
Alright, so
something
go
else.
ahead and curl, Mo.
It's gonna explode.
Alright, and then put it down. Alright. Is that pretty strong?
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, go ahead and curl it again. Nice and easy. Alright, put it down. Alright, try it again. Yeah. Alright, so that's a 5-pound weight. And until Mo actually gets rid of the contraction in the triceps, he will always have weakness in his biceps, and his body will actually always use more than the budgeted amount of energy that is necessary to do that. So he'll always be running in an energy deficient state. Thanks, Mo. Give Mo a round of applause. So, to finish up my story, now that I have sticky bad stuff in my fingers. After a sedentary lifestyle, eating poorly, alcoholism, smoking both cigarettes and pot, my father developed type 2 diabetes, celiac disease, which is an allergy to wheat gluten, COPD, which is a lung disease, and he passed away by the age of 69 from things that were completely within his control. And I'm very grateful for all the lessons I've learned, and I welcome all the new ones I will learn. From a young age, I was taught to always lend a helping hand to those in need, and I'm passionate about helping others live healthy and pain-free, because I've seen firsthand what the alternative is and where it can lead. My name is Christopher Clarke. My company is Therapeutic, Government Center for Massage Therapy, and we help bodies and emotions stay in motion. Thank you very much.